Hello, GameReplays.org. This is Captain Gerg. I am the former senior commentator for Kane's Wrath, and I haven't been in that position for quite a while now. But I've had many. Well, let's see. They're not called shoutcasts anymore. They're commentaries or whatever the hell we're calling them. Over in that section, so I figured I've been playing Dawn of War 2 recently, and I really like it. And so I figured I'd give this game a shot and see how things go. Today's game is between Noisy Elmo and Pega. That is Pega, sorry. Noisy Elmo is Pega, playing Warboss, probably the most underpowered commander at the moment, just due to easy ways to counter him. And Iron Hands, don't really know who he is, but he's playing the Warlock, which is nice, because you usually see the Warp Spider, Exarch, or Farseer. He's even been getting a lot more play nowadays. But haven't seen much of the Warlock. So we got two tank commanders going at it, Eldar versus Orcs. And we're paused at 5 seconds, so you can start it up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So, first off, please note the capping order the Pega goes for here, and his build order. It's quite a unique version here. For those of you who aren't as up to date with how balance is going and such, Warboss is definitely considered the worst orc hero, kind of one of the most unplayable heroes in the entire game, as far as doing any type of high-level play. And Pega is very, very high-level play. But anyway, so the reason with the Warboss here is his his lack of suppression immunity. So all it really takes is some sort of suppression platform to take him down in Tier 1, unlike his counterparts in Chaos and the Tyranids with the Hive Tyrant. And then his War Gear really doesn't give him too many options in the later game, with any type of suppression resistance or really, Force Commander has the Teleport Pack to get around it. Warlock has his globals, is the Distortion Field, and he's got his Providence and such. Well, the Warboss really doesn't have too much, so early game is pretty easy to count. But anyway, like I was saying, with Pega's initial build order, he caps here, and his power with his Warboss, and then with his two new shooters, comes down, caps all 3 victory points. So this guy got a triple drain here on Iron Hands. Has 3 points per second. Iron Hands, meanwhile, this is, in my opinion, not a good idea versus Orcs in any regard, especially not a Warboss. With Guardian, Banshee, that would be more appropriate for something closer to Space Marines or an Eldar Mirror even. Especially, yeah, definitely should have, once he saw his Orcs in the Warboss, should have gone with either Double Guardian to counter this massive amount of the Orcs that's going to be out in the field. Just literally doesn't have enough men to cap quickly enough. If you look at the map, he's barely moved past his half. Okay, he's got a little power going on here as far as harassment goes, but not much. So Double Guardian would help in that regard, as well as if they both had Fleet of Foot on. Oh, I like this Sinkill. That's one of my favorites. Then they'll be able to, get around, outmaneuver Kite pretty well. Grenades and such. Ooh, that was a good Destructor there. And then, or you could have gone Guardian, Shuriken, Guardian. Because Shuriken is really good against Orcs in almost every regard. Sluggas are the only melee unit minus the Warboss. They're going to come out. Warboss, also one of his issues is pathfinding. Very, very bad. Takes him a while to even fight once he gets close to the unit. Just generally, he's got slow acceleration, and it's just easy to kite, easy to kill early game, especially with us. Like 2 Guardians and a Shuriken, and make it useless in essence. It also would force Pega to go for either A, big shooters on his shooter boys to have them keep up with the Eldar firepower, or B, go in for Storm Boys early on, which would bring him down as far as power goes. Instead, he goes for Ludas, which is the Orc's own suppression platform, do very little damage, but good range, good suppression. I enjoy, the Big Bang Hammer came out, by the way, on the Warboss. Pega has mentioned this is one of his favorite new warriors now. And in case anyone hasn't known this, Shuriken platforms can now garrison buildings to match up with Devastators, Havocs, and Ludas as far as being able to garrison suppression platforms. That was 2.1 or 2, I forget. It was recent. It was one of the recent patches. Anyway, but yeah, again, just look at sheer map control as far as this goes. Pega's got obviously far more units, and well, of course what comes with more units is farther upkeep rather, and not allowing you to tech as quick. His power farms is actually dead right now. Pegasus, he hasn't even bothered activating it. He's got one activated here. So yeah, obviously Iron Hands is definitely winning the power race here. However, he's yet to get a single victory point, and so that's you know, starting in essence with a handicap here, quite a big one. But anyway, I was saying about the upkeep with the orcs, is he's going with a double shooter, double Ludas. So with the shooters, he doesn't have to use he doesn't have to put big shooters on him for the suppressant effect unless he wants the extra damage, in which you better be served by actually just putting knobs on it. Yeah, Warlock has Champion's Robe and an Immolator, by the way. Good choice, overall solid. Hard to go wrong with the Champion Robes. And then the Immolator is a good solid choice, especially with suppression and ranged-based Orc army. That's definitely going to be your best bet there. Warboss doesn't have anything else on me yet. And Pega is not even close to being able to go tier 2 yet. He's got, oh, no, now he's got his power coming back up. He's only got 2. And his other point is getting capped. So this whole strategy with the Ludas is quite interesting. If you, Ludas also have the I think it's called Hide the Guns or something like that, which just infiltrates them. So that's free infiltration out of the bat, which can make for some. I think he does this some point around here, where he's just using them to guard a victory point. And still no victory points for Iron Hands. Again, I'm a little bit confused with the Rangers. Well, actually, no, I'm not. Never mind. That's not true. The Rangers are a good counter and a good idea against the Ludas. Pega never is really able to optimize them quite as much as you would to Able with without these Rangers kind of in play. It's just kind of annoyance. So, and which works pretty well in the end. But yeah, it's interesting. One thing I love about Pega is, the Guardians beat him into the building there. But is that very few people could make this build order work. Granted, the build order, I'm guessing Iron Hands could have, I don't know, at least not gotten down. Oh, there we go. He's got his first. Nope, still hasn't gotten any victory points off. He's got his first victory point though. What was I gonna say? Oh, and yep. Saved by the way, I love how much blood goes. I think Tycho has talked about this before, but there's not that much blood in any living being that's like, that was ridiculous. Anyway, but that's an instance of being saved by the sync kill there. The Rangers probably would have been dead otherwise, but they come out. And I think we see a WoW pop here. Yep. And these Banshees are sorely undermatched. Good idea with the Big Bang Hammer. The Banshees versus the Warboss. Warboss has the highest DPS of any commander. Even, actually, I don't know, it's the Lictor. I think the Lictor Alpha might be either way, he's top 2 at least. And hence against very weak units like the Howling Banshees, Warboss will clobber them quite effectively there. So yeah, that's an instance where that's actually good. Whereas, you know, like the Chaos Lord or the Hive Tyrant wouldn't be doing as much damage and would be getting just mutilated by the high damage, high piercing, high attack speed of the Banshees. And do they have next turn? Oh, no, he's going. He's already tier 2. So another thing that I've already, in case you haven't figured out, I've already seen this game. But another thing that I was a little bit confused on is, at this point, getting a vehicle of any type would be a good idea. There we go. Here's a nice instance of the Rangers taking on the Ludas. And then there's a nice ammo there by the Warlock. But vehicles, I mean, so even popping out a Falcon or a Wraithlord. Wraithlord would probably be a bad idea just due to the Ludas being able to stealth. You could upgrade them easily to the AV beamy